how to create goodwill in your relationship. When I talk about goodwill in your relationship, it is the opposite of what a lot of families and familiarity and long-term relationships experience. The opposite of goodwill is actually cynicism. Cynicism is an enemy to your relationship. John Gottman calls it the fourth horseman of the apocalypse of marital doom. You do not want cynicism in your relationship. But what I'm about to tell you is not just about marriage. So if you're single, hang with me, okay? This has to do with all relationships, all difficult relationships, and significant relationships. So it might be a parent, it might be even an ex, it might be a grown child, and all kinds of, or it even might be a coworker or a business partner. So I'm going to help you to create goodwill in your relationship by focusing on 3 different pictures. The first picture to focus on is seeing that other person and imagining them as a young child. Now, young children, grandparents know this more than anything because we just love on our grandchildren. The love for them just oozes out of them, out of us to them. If you can see that other person in your life as having the same kind of dignity and lovability and worthiness as young children, just keep that in mind. That will change and create some goodwill in your relationship. I got to show you this because my husband actually had a picture of me on our mirror. So whenever I get angry or whatever, he looks at this picture. I know my mama would be real proud of me to show this, but this is my inner child. So he can have some compassion for me, and I can have some compassion for myself as well, to remember that there's this inner child. And you know, the thing is, we grow and our bodies and our faces don't show that innocence and that lovability. But if we keep that in mind with the other person, that will make a huge difference. The second focus, the second picture that you need to focus on is imagining yourself as one of the 6 blind men that are trying to describe an elephant. You may know the story. One of the blind men actually feels the wall of, feels the side of the elephant and says, "The elephant is like a wall." And the other blind man says, "No, no, 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 no. It's not like a wall. It's like a tree trunk." And he's feeling the leg of the elephant. And the other blind man says, "No, you're both wrong. It's like a rope." And he feels the tail of the elephant. The reality is the elephant is big, and all of those things are true, but they all have different perspectives. So if we see ourselves as one of the blind men, and we see the other person as also one of them, we can be open that they have different perspectives, and we can be open to their truth. The third thing, so if we see the other person through the eyes of a small child, I got to tell you about the small child. I have to go backwards for a minute because sometimes I get some pushback from this with my clients. A couple will tell me, "No, no, no, Judy, I don't want to do that. I do not want to encourage childish behavior from my spouse. That's what I despise." I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the dignity and worth and valuableness of the other person, and not to enable inappropriate or immature behavior. That's not what we're talking about. So yes, to review, we've got the seeing the other person as a young child with the same kind of innocence and lovability, seeing yourself as one of the 6 blind men. And the third picture is consider that relationship as a mirror to your soul. Like, it's other people in our lives, and especially those that are closest to us, those who know us for a long time and know us well, they will expose things to us, and we will sometimes write them off and not even consider them as one of the blind men, right? But just as much, like, we all have blind spots. Like, I know you can see my face right now, and I'm in front of the camera, but I cannot see my face unless I'm in front of a mirror or camera. And that's exactly what another person does. So think of this mirror, this hand mirror, and the other person, even with all their issues, will expose some issues in us. And it's an opportunity to grow our character and to gain some wisdom, as it is for them, as we do for them as well. So if we see that other person in those three pictures, the lovability of a child, and then also as yourself as one of the blind men, and also the relationship and what they provide as a mirror to your soul, you can create goodwill. Because remember, cynicism, you just got to get rid of that. Get rid of that horseman, as John Gottman talks about. And but will change your relationship. It'll change your perspective. And people are so valuable. I want to invite you to join with me. I'm Judy Herman, helping leaders and families create connection beyond conflict. I'm actually in my office today. And by the way, this is not a substitute for professional counseling services, but I'm also an author of Beyond Messy Relationships, Divine Invitations to Your Authentic Self. I would love to stay connected with you. So please go to my website, judycounselor.com. And then if you look further in the feed, actually, last week, I was giving away a little Valentine gift, and you can still get it if you wanted to sign up and sign up for the first 3 chapters of my book. So I hope to see you and stay connected with you, and I'll see you next Thursday. Thanks so much for joining me.